Next, we're going to talk about the law of independent assortment. Now, independent assortment, it gives you a clue what's going to happen with traits that are inherited. So basically, we have different traits are inherited independently of one another, meaning that one trait has nothing to do necessarily with another trait. This law applies to traits whose genes are found on different pairs of the homologous chromosomes. Remember, homologous chromosomes are going to be chromosomes that have similar or the same genetic information. We're looking at different pairs of homologous chromosomes. During meiosis, we know genes for different traits are separated and distributed to gametes independently of one another. And we went over this when we covered meiosis a couple of chapters ago. So can these parents we see, these pigeons, have males that have no crest? Well, in this case, remember, we would need to do a dihybrid cross, meaning we need to look at all of the traits. And we're going to see that there are 4 different combinations. We have males that come up with crested, males that are non-crested, females that are crested, and females that are non-crested. So each pigeon parent has 2 sex chromosomes. So during gamete formation, each egg or sperm gets just 1 sex chromosome. So when the male bird with the 2 Z chromosomes, which means he's crested, makes sperm, some sperm get 1 of the Z chromosomes and some get the other. When a female bird with 1 Z and 1 W chromosome makes eggs, some get the Z chromosome and others will get the W. So let's look at this dihybrid cross to see that males can be created with no crest, females can be created from these parents with a crest, and how many different combinations there actually are. So each parent has 4 sex chromosomes for the crest allele. And there are different combinations for each gamete. You're going to see we have male crested, male non-crested, female crested, and female non-crested. Remember, each egg and sperm cell gets 1 sex chromosome and 1 crest. So for example, in pea plants, this means that the gene for seed color, which can be yellow or green, is inherited independently from the gene for seed shape, round or wrinkled. Therefore, all combinations of these alleles for these traits are possible. Offspring could have seeds that are yellow and round, yellow and wrinkled, green and round, or green and wrinkled. In humans, this means that the gene for earlobe attachment, which could be free or attached, is inherited independently from the gene for freckles. Either you have freckles, that means they're present, or you do not, which means they're absent. Therefore, humans can have free earlobes and have freckles, attached earlobes and no freckles, free earlobes and no freckles, or attached earlobes and freckles. Remember, this law only applies if the genes are on different pairs of homologous chromosomes. So if the genes are located on the same pair of homologous chromosomes, then they are inherited together. So can you think of any human traits that tend to go together? Well, here are 2 examples: red hair and have freckles, and blonde hair and blue eyes. The tendency for groups of traits to be inherited together suggests that they are located closely on the same chromosome. Each chromosome contains thousands of different genes. Genes located on the same chromosome, that when those genes are close together, they are said to be linked because they are connected. So the closer they are together on the same chromosome, they are said to be linked genes. If genes are linked, they will not assort independently of each other. So that means they will assort together. So how can genetic variation arise even when genes are linked on the same chromosome? Why don't all blondes have blue eyes? And this is because of crossing over. Remember, crossing over is when the homologous chromosomes exchange pieces of genetic information. So crossing over occurs when segments of homologous chromosomes are switched, when they are pairing up during the first division of meiosis. If they exchange segments carrying different alleles for certain traits, then we will see new genetic combinations. In the diagram below, what are the original linkage groups or the combination of alleles? We have A, B, so 2 capital, or 2 lowercase for A, B. In the diagram below, what are the new linkage groups or the combinations of alleles that have formed? We have a capital A and a lowercase b, or a lowercase a and a capital B. Therefore, we start to see heterozygous alleles. What is the result of crossing over in terms of genetic variation? Remember, crossing over increases genetic variation. We start to see more combinations of our alleles. If you have any questions on this PowerPoint presentation or lecture, please ask your teacher for further explanation.